Hello, and welcome to Caffeine Entertainment. I am your host, Mental9R, and this is episode number 7 of Backlogs and Replays. And today we'll be talking about what remains of Edith Finch. And as always, I'll be doing that with my good friend and cohort, Finn Tin Tin. Let's bring Finn on now. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm your cohort, am I?
Yes, partner in crime. We are the
Okay.
evil people for video games, I guess. I don't know what the heck we are.
We're
Old
far
grumpy
from
dudes.
evil. We're far from
Yeah,
evil, and
maybe we're okay.
I may be
Maybe we're
grumpy,
okay.
but leave the old to yourself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, noticing a little more gray there.
Just
You're getting
because I got
there.
a cut short.
Yeah, yeah, you're catching up. Won't be long. Won't be long. Give yourself a few years. You're catching up every day. Yeah.
I'll never quite catch up with the hairline. I don't think.
Well, you should be so blessed. I mean, to know the joy of not having to worry about what your hair looks like, man, oh man. For all the times I hear you complain about it. Anyway. So, what remains of Edith Finch? In my case, nothing. I did finish the game. I think after just 2 days, it's very short. I don't know, it's like 4 hours or 5 hours or something, even with all my wandering and exploring that I try to do. Definitely didn't take long. I enjoyed it. It was interesting. It's probably I'll say it was the most depressing game I've ever played in my life. Definitely no joy in this one. Very dark sort of theme, I think. Even if it maybe was meant to not be that dark, I don't know. I'm not sure what they were going for. I guess just to depress you. That's my thoughts. But what do you think, Finn?
with
Did you
that,
find it as joyous as I did?
with that lead, I mean, honestly, I okay. So in a way, this epitomizes what I love about indie games. Like I didn't know what to expect, and I certainly didn't get whatever I thought I was going to get. Very different. I thought it was going to be. Having seen, I think I saw the first, few minutes of it or something in a review because walking up to the house and into the house was familiar. I thought it was going to be like a regular mystery, and I was exploring and looking for crap and uncovering thing, which you were in a way, but instead of uncovering a mystery, you were uncovering, I guess, a series of mysteries
Yeah.
and as well a family history of a very unfortunate family. Lots of dying babies and dying kids and stuff, like, which I did find as a father of young kids myself, I did find it affecting, honestly. Um, but I thought it was art. I thought it was very cool in terms of the imagination that went into it. In terms of, I loved how they mixed it up. Like some ones were in the style of a comic book, so to speak, and then you would switch tacks and you're acting like a bird or a cat or whatever. As you say,
Yeah.
some of the themes were very, very dark. And I'm not sure what the message was, honestly. The impermanence of life, I don't know. But it certainly, I think I finished it even quicker than you. I finished it pretty much in one sitting. That's not quite true, but I think I did it like in 2 hours, and then afterwards I did it like 30 minutes, right, to just finish it up. I like I it was getting quite late. I had intended just to switch it on and see what it was about, because
Yeah.
someone is always nagging me about, have you started that game yet? Have you done this? Have you stopped playing FIFA? Have you started that game yet? So someone is always nagging me. So I at least wanted to be able to say, oh yeah, I've started it. I'm a few minutes into it or whatever. And by the time I
Next
knew
thing you
it,
know.
I was like, geez, I'm almost done, I think, because, she
Yeah.
has a little notebook and she's doing the pictures of all the various folks that she comes across, or the family that she comes across. And they were all drawn in almost. I think just
Yeah.
herself and her grandmother or something, or were not complete or something like that. But yeah, like it was, I even if it only took me 2.5, 3 hours, I think I'll remember it. I don't think I'll forget this game. And I would recommend anyone to get it, honestly, no matter what type you're
Yeah, I mean,
doing. Yeah.
if you're feeling a little too happy, highly recommend it. It'll bring you back down to earth in no time. Uh, I played the entire thing on my Steam Deck, so I did end up spending that $6, and I got the game because I knew that I wouldn't want to just a game like this. It's kind of opportunistic for me to play it when I can, right? It's that type
Mm.
of game where I'm gonna sit on the couch or uh, sit in bed, play for a bit. It just was way shorter than I expected. So, uh,
I found it was very, very immersive, though. So that's why I thought I was going to play for like 20 minutes. And I ended up playing for just over 2 hours because I found it like hard to put down, honestly. It was like watching a good movie in a way, you know?
I definitely didn't have that same attachment, I don't think. For me, I played it like Friday night and then periodically Saturday. Like I played sitting on the couch. My daughter was playing on her Switch and playing some Pokemon game, I think, if I remember right. And I was playing this. And uh,
So she was all happy, happy while you were watching
yeah,
children die.
yeah. And yeah, so and then Saturday night, like I started it. I captured some gameplay here. This is from pretty much near the beginning. This was with my Steam Deck in its dock and just playing with a Xbox controller on my monitor with it. So I played pretty well on the Steam Deck. If I'm going to give a Steam Deck review, it was. I think I set it locked to 40 frames per second. Of course, when it's in the dock, it won't lock like that. It'll just play at 60 hertz. So I got some frame time fluctuations occasionally. Actually, no, it does look like it is locked. If I look at my other screen, no, it's locked at 60 right now with the frame time.
I thought,
So yeah, no, it will dip occasionally off that. When I had it locked at 40, it held that pretty consistently all the time. But it's I had a
but it's
mix of
but it,
settings
yeah,
and stuff, but
but it's art, dude. Like look at it, like the way
yeah,
that the text came up, that drew you into the story. Even you don't really see it here, but even the text directs you where to go. You could have walked to where the text is to further the story. I just found it deeply, deeply immersive, honestly. And I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to like you said earlier. I'm not sure what you're supposed to take from it exactly. Yes, it is depressing, the overall theme, but I guess one thing that was clear was, or maybe unclear, like the mystery of the family is not ever resolved, really. Like, why are they all dying in
why
this?
are they cursed?
Yeah, why are they cursed? And the other thing I thought that was not resolved is, are these things really happening? Like, some of them were like, yeah, like, I won't give away what happens to Edith Finch, but there's another character who dies from falling off a swing. Okay, you can see that, right? But other ones are far more fantastical, like the comic book
Yeah,
one and the girl who turns into all these monsters, etc. I mean, like even the guy who goes down with his house, whatever at sea, they seem like,
yeah.
are we meant to take this literally, or what? How are we supposed to take that? So I think that was another, not only the mystery of the curse, but also like, is this a real story, or yeah, I've my take was of it, to be honest, is that everyone in the family suffers from some kind of mental illness, is what I took from it, and that
It
you're
would
somehow,
definitely seem so. Yes.
and that you're kind of seeing a window, literally in some cases, into their mind when like when they're losing it or whatever. The other thing actually I have to commend as well was the not always, but the control system was quite cool as well. Like the turning of the page. It didn't describe what you had to do, but it was quite intuitive.
No, there was absolutely zero help on that front, but you're right. It worked. I did find that I don't want to slag on it entirely, right? It was a good game. It's just not my style of game, but it was cool how they just kind of drew you into it, and each story how you would take the perspective of that person and kind of live it out. That was cool. But I kind of like stuff like either I'm in there just killing people
Yeah,
because
yeah,
reasons, or something that's just maybe a little more joyous than walking around and not even being able to run, like to speed it up at all, uh, and just doing this type of stuff. Like, I apologize for in advance. I didn't convert this video to a format that would let me use StreamYard to play the video. So this is being streamed from a screen capture. I know it's going to look really choppy in the playback, unfortunately, but I forgot to convert this to an MP4. So it is what it is. We're watching it through another player. But yeah, I mean, in general, interesting concept, depressing. Uh, Definitely not. It's not a party game. You're not gonna, invite friends over. Hey, watch this great game. It's cool. But unless maybe it's one of the like some kind of end of the world thing that you're doing. I don't know. But anyway,
I'm sure
it was.
if we do this if we do this show for another 10 or so years, I'm sure your mind will broaden, Mike, so that it doesn't you don't
Yeah,
have to be
maybe.
shooting something with with a sawn off shotgun or something in order to get a bit of a
Yeah,
kick.
yeah,
One part I
yeah.
was
Maybe,
one
maybe.
thing I did find annoying actually in the game was that when you took the role of that little girl,
Yeah.
and she was playing all these different animals or turning into these animals. I found that was the one spot where the control system was irritating to me, especially when you were
Yes.
the monster. It was like trying to direct the
Oh dear
monster
Lord.
around.
Yeah.
That was very
That
annoying.
was horrible. I think I have that in here. Um, that's the Yeah. As luck would have it, I clicked right to that spot. Yeah,
Yeah,
this I found very irritating, and you'll probably see like it didn't. Oh man, it didn't make sense to me how it was working,
yeah,
and I did not enjoy this segment of the game. Uh, just didn't make sense.
yeah. It was so weird
Kind of
though.
a weird
The whole
concept.
the whole game was weird, but
Yeah,
cool at the same time. And I actually
sure,
well, I thought
sure.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
It's funny actually. When I saw the start of it, uh, I think it's called Giant Sparrow. I was like, I recognize that, and sure enough, they had made another indie game. I'm not sure if it was before or after. I didn't. I should have done my research, but another game called The Unfinished Swan, which was very, very, very different to this, but also had a very cool control scheme, very different.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guys, I like, as I say, that's what I like about indie games in general. That's what I like about like you would. I know you would say you probably don't want AAA titles to be like this, but it's about the risk taking. It's about the innovation that I appreciated as much as the execution. So I liked it. I liked it a lot, and
Okay.
I will definitely remember it.
Yeah, like I say, it's kind of interesting. I mean, the girl going back to the house she kind of grew up in until one night when, they leave unexpectedly, I guess, or maybe expectedly. I never really understood why they left. And such, oh, I guess I did. They kind of explain it, but I don't want to spoil that. But like I say, the interesting thing was living each person's life, finding out what happened to them and why she's the last one left, I guess. And it's weird, though. Definitely weird. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I'd probably like because it's not really a game for me. Yeah, here I was just trying to get the snake thing to grab him,
Mhm.
and it was just like the controls felt so wonky. But anyway, yeah, I would say for me because it's not my style of game. It entertain me for a few hours, which was great.
Mhm.
Uh, I'd probably give it like a 7. to be
Ooh.
honest. For me, like I'd probably even go lower than that. Like
Ooh.
again, for me, because if I compare it to the order, which I think I said around a high 70s, 78 or something, I think I said, uh, I would way sooner play the order again than go anywhere near this game again. So, probably more like in the 60s for me, maybe a 6 out of 10. And again, I appreciate what it is.
Mhm.
And for the right person, I could easily see this being like first class 10 out of 10. You're good to go. So.
I had my Leonard Cohen records playing in the background as well when I was playing. But no, it's
Yeah.
I would give it a solid 9.5, and not you know what I look at it as being, as I say, art, and I'm not comparing it to the Order 1866 because it is a completely different thing. It is, in a way, it's even like not a video game. It's almost like you're playing a part in the stream of consciousness or something. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I thought it was as much of a game. It was just an experience.
I think I'm a bit more shallow. I'm not
I
afraid to admit that.
I can
And, I
confirm
play
that.
games for fun. And it was okay. It was okay. It was an interesting experience. I'm glad I had a chance to experience. I just will, I'll never experience it again. That's what it comes down to. And there's games I'm willing to replay. This is one game that I'm happy to have in the
No,
past.
mind you, I don't think I'll replay it honestly, just because it's not the type of game that you do replay. It's like you play the story, you experience it, you're done.
Yeah.
But I found it excellent.
Like I said, I'd sooner replay the order for a third time than this. Or anything resembling this. Anyway, cool. What was
Oh
your
my
final
goodness!
score then? Sorry, I might have
I,
missed it, but
I, I, yeah, I think I was going to give it a 9 or a 9.5 in the context of what it is.
okay. No, fair enough. Like I say, I'm pretty shallow. Like to shoot
I can
things
confirm
and
that.
stuff like that. And yeah, I appreciate it for what it is. It's just what it is isn't for me. All right, so that's that.
That's that over with.
Next, we're diving into another. I think this is an indie game. It was very highly rated, if I recall correctly. I remember people going on and on about it. Never played it, and that is a game called Death's Door. So that's what we're gonna queue up for the next one of these. It might be a little longer than a few weeks out because, or 2 weeks. We're kind of doing this show a little bit early, just because the game was so short. But Finn's going to be away, so we're not sure how long he's going to have to play. Hopefully, we can be on schedule and drop this one in a few weeks' time for Death's Door. Should be fun. So, Finn, why don't you tell
Unlike the
people?
Edith Finch.
You knew I was thinking it, right? But I just wasn't going to say it. So, but why don't you tell people where they can reach Finn? I know this is your favorite part of the show, so
Absolutely.
let
I
it
love it.
fly.
I love it. Fin1010 on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. And Fin10 with 10 with a 1 on X. I was going to say Twitter there, but I stopped myself.
Yeah, don't want that abuse from me. And I am Mental9R on X and Mental9R on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, basically anywhere you can play games. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like, and man, if you could even just find it in your heart to hit the follow or subscribe button, depending which platform you're watching it on, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm Mental9R. He's Fin Tin Tin. This is Caffeine Entertainment, and it's time to wake up and play some games.